Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy, Cactus DFS, coming at y'all with my first YouTube video ever. Wow, I never thought I'd be doing this, but here we are. Basically, this channel is just going to be me breaking down my favorite plays on Fanduel. I only play Fanduel. But breaking down my favorite plays on Fanduel, giving you guys some thoughts, opinions, etc. So let's just get right into it. So this is gonna be for the 2 p.m. Eastern slate, the main slate for August the 2nd. Starting at point guard, we got Westbrook and Lillard towards the top. So I like both these options, honestly. Can't go wrong with Westbrook or Lillard. Both good options. If I had to pick, I'd probably say Westbrook, only because we know he's going to get his. Like, this is going to be a fast-paced game. The game environment's going to be good. It's going to be a close game. We know Westbrook's going to get his regardless. For $900 more than Dame, I think I like Westbrook more. But given the value at point guard on this slate, I really don't think spending up is necessary. And we'll get to that in a second. So, going down the list some more, we got Ja Morant, which is actually one of my favorite plays at point guard. Going up against San Antonio. De'Aaron Fox just torched San Antonio the other day, like destroyed San Antonio. I think Ja Morant's in a great spot here to do the same. Ja and De'Aaron are pretty similar players when you look at their play styles. I just think Ja's in a great spot, so I'm just going to go ahead and lock him in. Below that, you got Ricky Rubio, which I also think is a pretty good play. I think this is more of a tournament option. I think he's going to be lower owned. But a decent matchup against Dallas. We know Ricky Rubio, like, he can be hit or miss. When he's a hit, when he's hot, he's gonna rack you up points in every single category: points, rebounds, assists. He'll get you some steals. 6,300. I think that's a little too cheap. So I definitely like Ricky Rubio here. Probably not going to be in my core, but a sneaky play, I think. And down here we got Derek White, who absolutely destroyed the slate the other day. But yeah, he's going up against Memphis here. Memphis plays at a pretty fast pace. Not the best defensive team. I mean, if Patty Mills is out again, like, Derek White can just go off again, I think. So I think this is just easy value, 5,500. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. So we're just going to lock him in. But other options you can go with down here. Shabazz definitely disappointed the other day. How many did he drop? 12 points. Yeah, 22 fantasy points. Definitely not what everybody was looking for. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust him. I don't trust the Washington offense. I wouldn't touch it. I mean, it's a good matchup against Brooklyn, honestly, but I don't know. I mean, I guess he's in play. You could go there. I wouldn't be mad at it. You got Ish Smith down here, which I actually think is a pretty solid play as well. I mean, 5K, he's going to get some minutes. This Washington team is just an absolute dumpster fire. I mean, so is Brooklyn, but Washington's a dumpster fire. They don't have bodies. He's just going to get minutes. So I think just on pure volume alone, I think 5K is a decent price for Ish. And then coming down here, you have other guys like DeAnthony Melton, I think is a decent option. Trey Burke's decent if he gets the same amount of run as he did last time, which he absolutely killed. So I think that's an option at 4K. Other than that, nothing really else. You can go to George Hill if you want. I'm not touching it, so it's up to you guys. Moving on to shooting guard. Obviously, you got Harden and Luke at the top. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go Luka. I just think it's a softer matchup. I mean, Harden, don't get me wrong, he's gonna get his shots up against Milwaukee. Just that Milwaukee defense scares me. Chris Middleton's an amazing defender. I imagine he's gonna be on Harden a lot of the game. So I don't know. Just for $100 less, I think I go with Luka in a softer matchup. Other guys that I like, Devin Booker is okay. I don't think I'll be going there though. Karis LeVert, I imagine, is going to be pretty popular against the Wizards. The Wizards are absolutely atrocious on defense. The Nets, a dumpster fire, just like the Wizards. He's going to get all the usage. Washington plays at a fast pace, so I think LeVert's definitely in play, but he's going to be chalky for sure. DeRozan, I think, actually is a good tournament play. 7,800 for him. Drawing a matchup against Memphis. Yeah, I think this might just be a little too cheap for what DeRozan can do, especially with LaMarcus Aldridge off the floor. Yeah, this offense just runs through him, so I think this is actually a good play. CJ McCollum's actually a guy that I like as well. A sneaky tournament option. Definitely not going to be as popular as LeVert, Doncic, Harden towards the top. Yeah. Against Memphis, he balled out. I mean, I know that game went into overtime, but he still got his shots up at 7,300. I think that's just too cheap for CJ. He could easily go for 40 on any given night. The matchup against Boston's not the most ideal, but I still like him at 7,300. I think that's a pretty good price. Middleton's also an amazing. He's priced so well on Fanduel. Like that price just looks amazing. I think he's gonna be pretty chalky though. I mean, it's a perfect game environment against Houston. There's probably not gonna be much defense played on the Houston side. So I think Middleton at 6,900. I mean, I think that's got to be just a lock. You just got to lock that in. Scrolling down here, not really seeing anybody else. Go to Lonnie Walker. He's going to get some minutes with Patty Mills out. Got 32 last game, which is actually a lot. So I think at 4,400, it's decent. Definitely decent if you want to go value at shooting guard, but I don't see much value here, so I'll probably be spending up at shooting guard. Moving on to small forward. I think this is the obvious lock of the day. Giannis against Houston, like, it really doesn't get much better than this. Giannis is just going to absolutely destroy this Houston team. Houston has nobody that can even compete with Giannis. I mean, their tallest guy is 6'8", PJ Tucker. Like, Giannis is going to have a field day. Fast-paced environment. 7 foot. I mean, he's going to get a bunch of rebounds. He's going to get you a bunch of points. I mean, you just got to lock Giannis in. And moving on, I like Jaylen Brown again against Portland. Played decent against Milwaukee. Obviously, Milwaukee's a pretty tough matchup. I think Portland's going to be a little bit of a softer matchup. At 6,200, I don't really mind it that much, but down here, I think you have some better plays. Like Evan Fournier, I think will be a sneaky tournament play. He's going to get his shots up. Against Sacramento, it's not like the greatest matchup in the world, but I mean, at 5,500, that's just a good price for Fournier. You see, he dropped 34 last game. I think easily he can go for 30 to 35 again at 5,500. That's pretty good. And you got Bridges down here. I don't know. I don't really trust Bridges. So I probably won't be going there. Troy Brown. I mean, yeah, He disappointed. I mean, as we know, like I mentioned earlier, this Washington team is just it's atrocious. Troy Brown's going to get his opportunities, definitely. I think he's probably going to be pretty chalky again against this bad Brooklyn team, but I mean at 4900 like it's decent. It's decent. I like Troy Brown. I like Carmelo as well at 4900 against Boston. It's going to be a competitive game. Definitely not the best matchup in the world, but at 4900 for Melo, like as you could see last game, he got you 30. Like he's gonna get you buckets. I definitely think he's in play at 4900. Rudy Gay's okay. Jonathan Isaac in his first game back from injury was actually pretty good. I wouldn't mind going there at 44. I imagine he's probably gonna be pretty popular too against Sacramento. Those minutes are probably gonna come up a little bit, so he's gonna get more opportunity. So I like Jonathan Isaac. And Daniel House is definitely probably one of my favorite plays on the slate, just because the amount of time he's going to be on the court is absurd with Eric Gordon injured. He's going to be in the starting lineup. He's only 4,200. He's going to get his looks. I just don't think you can beat this price. 4,200 for the time he's going to be on the court. It's just too good to pass on. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Power forward, Porzingis and Tatum at the top. Porzingis, yeah, I mean, you could go there. 9,600. It's not a great price, but Phoenix is a decent matchup as well. I mean, Porzingis has just been playing so well. Even before the break, he was playing out of his mind. I definitely think he's in play. I don't think he's going to be as popular, so this could be a tournament play. But with the amount of value at power forward tomorrow, I just don't think it's necessary. I don't like Tatum after that stinker he just gave us the other night. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's Portland, so they're not a great defensive team. He'll probably bounce back, but I'm not touching it. I actually like Hachimura against Brooklyn. He played pretty well against Phoenix. Washington is a dumpster fire once again. And Hachimura is probably going to be one of the focal points in this offense moving forward in this bubble. So I think him at 6,100 is a decent price. I don't love it, but it's okay. Covington at 5,900 is interesting. Yeah. Covington just gives you all those stats. Looking at it, yeah. Covington at 5,900 is pretty good against Milwaukee. Fast-paced game, like I mentioned earlier. He's going to get you points. He's going to knock down some shots. He's one of the taller guys on this team, too, so he's going to get some rebounds. He's just a guy that's going to get you stats all across the board. So I like him at 5,900. Jaren Jackson was absolutely on fire against Portland. I mean, I was watching the game, and he was just chucking up threes. I mean, it was ridiculous. 5,900 again, I like that price tag against San Antonio. San Antonio doesn't really have anybody down low. I mean, Jakob Poeltl, no, not the greatest. So I definitely like Jaren Jackson at 5,900. Brandon Clark came in, I believe, because Valanciunas was in foul trouble. He came in and played more minutes. I don't expect that to happen again, but it's worth noting. Maybe he gets more minutes than what he was getting during the earlier in the season before the break. It's a decent value. I probably like Brandon Clark. Bielitsa drew the start against San Antonio. He was pretty good for 4,700. I actually like this price tag. He's gonna play around 30, mid to low 30s in minutes probably. So I definitely like this at 4,700. Other guys down here, Zach Collins is going to get the start at power forward. Not the biggest fan, so I probably won't go there. And then down here you got guys like Karooks, definitely not playing him. So I think at power forward, what I'm going to do is probably grab Bielitsa at 4,700. I think that's just a good price for Bielitsa. He's going to start. I probably like Covington as well. Those are probably my two favorite plays as of now. But moving on to center, I like all the guys towards the top here. Vucevic, Ayton, Nurkic. I think they're all good plays. I think Vucevic is actually going to do really well against the Kings. The Kings aren't very big down low. They have Bielitsa, Rashawn Holmes. I just don't think anybody down low can guard Vucevic. He's just too good. At 8,100, that's a solid price for him as well. I think he could easily go over 45 in this game. So I definitely like Vooch. Ayton's decent at 8,100. You could go there. Will I be going there? Probably not, but it's decent. Nurkic at 7,500 is still a good price. He played amazing in his first game back at Memphis. 18 points, 9 rebounds. He's just one of those guys that's going to get you stats all across the board, blocks, steals. He's just really good. I mean, at 7,500, I still think that's pretty low for Nurkic, so I think Nurkic is definitely in play. Other than that, probably one of the more popular plays on the slate will probably be Jarrett Allen, just because he's getting a matchup against Washington. And we all know Washington is really bad against centers. Really bad interior defense. Just a terrible team. I mean, honestly. Jarrett Allen looks good at 6,500. I think he could easily pay off that price, especially against the Wizards. I mean, don't even get me started. Jakob Poeltl's probably going to be pretty chalky again at 5,900 against Memphis. No LaMarcus Aldridge, no Trey Lyles. He's basically the only big man that San Antonio has. He played 31 minutes against Sacramento. Dropped you 30.7, so I mean, he's viable, but I don't love it at that price. And then down here, not touching Whiteside. He's going to be coming off the bench. Thomas Bryant at 5,400 is decent against Brooklyn. Brooklyn's pretty bad defensively, so especially down low against centers. So Thomas Bryant at 5,400 is decent. I like that. Brook Lopez at 5,100 is pretty good against Houston as well. Once again, a fast-paced environment. Houston doesn't have a center, so Lopez is probably just going to grab every rebound that he wants. He'll probably pay that 5,100 off pretty well. 37 fantasy points against Boston. Pretty good. So yeah, I like Brook Lopez in this game. Other than that, there's nothing else really. I think my favorite play at center is probably between Vooch, Nurkic, and Jarrett Allen. I think if you're playing Giannis, though, you kind of have to get away from Vooch just because of that price tag. So as of now, I'm just going to go to Jarrett Allen just because of the matchup. So yeah, these are just some of my plays that I really like for tomorrow. Play them if you want. I don't know. I'm just giving my thoughts on them. But yeah, if you enjoyed my first video ever, drop a like, subscribe for more NBA content. I'll probably be doing this every night, just breaking down what I like, what I don't like, just giving you guys my opinions. Follow me on Twitter as well. I'll leave that in the description. I'll probably be tweeting on that account throughout the day, just giving updates and talking to you guys about my favorite plays, etc. Whenever we get news before lock. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.